Bernie Sanders is now in the race. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Now, he's got an exciting platform. We go now to our on-the-scene reporter. Right across the desk is Stu Bregeer. Stu.
Now, his aides are saying he has a couple of things he wants to do as part of this presidential campaign.
One, he's got to go to potty a lot. He's got to go to the potty.
Unless the adult diapers are freshly changed.
Well, that's not even nice to joke about that.
What do you mean?
Well, someday you'll be wearing adult diapers, and will you be joking about that?
I didn't make one even hint at a joke. You said he had to go potty, and I said you don't have to go to the potty.
I thought it was ageism, quite honestly.
If you have an adult diaper, the potty is not necessarily a trip you need to make as often.
Okay, all right.
That's all. Okay, he wants to do Medicare for all.
Medicare for all.
Now, again, I point this out. Every single candidate in this race wants to do Medicare for all. Mm-hmm. Not the case quite recently. In fact, you might think to yourself, wasn't Barack Obama a progressive liberal president? Well, when he was president, Bernie Sanders introduced Medicare for all and got 0 co-sponsors. 0. Mm-hmm. He was the only one interested in doing Medicare for all publicly in 2013.
Sure. The rest, it was Marxist nonsense. They're not going for that. They're never going to go for that.
Yep.
How dare you even suggest that, you racist? Medicare for all, which means we get rid of all private insurance. So you don't have your...
There's a couple different spins on it. There's the one, Kamala Harris talked about getting rid of all private insurance. Mm-hmm. Some candidates are supporting a version of Medicare for all, where it would just be available to everyone.
Sure. So it's like France. Everybody has Medicare in France, or whatever they call it over there. Oh, you're sick, you get this. But everybody also gets to, on top of the high taxes, they also get to buy insurance to cover for the stuff that Medicare for all, doesn't cover.
Yeah.
So it's a double blessing.
It is a blessing. I think that's the right word for it. Yeah. And we should say that it is important for Medicare for all to happen to cure our horrible healthcare system currently known as Obamacare. The last thing they told us was going to cure our horrible healthcare system. Remember, it hasn't been repealed. It's still in effect. The thing they're all running against is the thing they all told us was the cure last time. Mm-hmm. Remember that when they start saying when they start listing all the problems, because what they're going to say is, well, Trump has gutted it. I mean, look, the only thing really, we've seen a couple of regulation changes. The biggest thing being that they zeroed out the penalty if you don't have health insurance, which I'm a fan of. However, the problem with the way they did it was they just zeroed out the penalty, but the penalty's still there. So the next time the Democrats have control, they can just non-zero out the penalty. They didn't get rid of the mandate. They just zeroed the penalty. So in theory, what you're supposed to do is actually have health insurance. If you don't, you have to pay you're against the law, but you have to pay a $0 penalty.
Right.
It's a weird way they did it, and it's going to go away as soon as Democrats get control.
Okay.
So basically, we're in Obamacare, and that's what they're complaining about.
Got it.
Next up, Green New Deal.
Green New Deal.
Yes.
All of it.
Green New Deal.
Green New Deal. So Medicare for all and the Green New Deal.
Now, the Green New Deal, obviously you've probably seen the FAQ that was posted by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's team, which said things like, everyone gets a job even if they're unwilling to work or they get paid, basically universal basic income. That is not necessarily what he's saying here. He's saying the proposed bill, the resolution that went through, and the resolution basically says every green dream you've ever heard of from Democrats. Okay. It's not, but it doesn't say some of the things that were in that FAQ, to be clear.
Okay.
$15 minimum wage.
$15 minimum wage, countrywide.
Yep.
So if you live in New York, it's still not a livable wage. If you live in, outback Wisconsin, it's sweet living.
Sure. No business can run if they give less than $15 as a minimum wage. Which, of course, as we've seen even in high price areas like Seattle, has destroyed industries.
Yes,
and destroyed really profitable and good solid
businesses. Not working out for Seattle.
No.
Yeah.
Criminal justice reform. Now, we just passed criminal justice reform, but if you listen to the people who wanted criminal justice reform, they were very clear this was just a first step. I believe the act was called the First Step Act. So there's plenty more to come. I think what the end game here is, if you haven't committed a crime, you go to prison. if you have committed a crime,
You're out.
You're set free. They're just going to reverse the walls.
Well,
it's going to be like Superman in Superman 2, where he goes inside the little protective thing and reverses the kryptonite to the outside,
right?
So that Zod gets hit with it.
Right.
It's just like that. That's criminal justice reform in the future.
Good. I like this. And now with all of the big state regulation, we're all criminals and we've all committed a crime. We just don't know it yet.
Yes.
So we might as well all go to prison.
Sure.
All right.
Let's make it fun.
Number 5.
Free college.
Free college.
Yes, that's always fun. Now, of course, we've seen the cost of that it's pretty high.
It's going to get even better. Once the government is involved, it's going to get better. Don't you think?
Oh, I mean,
think about it this way.
And they are already heavily involved, by the way.
Yeah. If you think about it this way, where you've got a college system that would be run by the U.S. government, and you're expecting that college to teach the Constitution and to teach the founding documents, which says you should be very skeptical of the government. You shouldn't trust the government. You shouldn't give the government more power. Of course, the people who are paying for that, they want that stuff taught.
Right.
They want that stuff taught. Yeah. Okay. So that's going to be good.
It's going to work out well.